slope-intercept form is, what it looks like. Right, mx plus b. Right. So whenever I'm done, my equation should look just like this. All right. Once we have it in that form, it's going to want us to identify m and b. Does anybody remember what the m represents?
The x.
The x. What do we call this part? Slope. Very good. And b represents the y-intercept. That means where it touches the y-axis or where it starts, right? Okay. So, on number 1, right now, the only thing I'm supposed to have on the left is a y, but right now I have an x. So I need to move it to the other side. How would I do that? How could I move a positive x? Yes. I just need to subtract it from both sides. All right. And if we look back up here, we said that x, whatever's with x, needs to come before the number b, right? So this went away. We have y equals, we have to put the x first. I cannot put 3 and x together because one of them is a letter and one of them is not. So I'm just going to have minus x, and then I have a positive 3. Because it has to be in this order. X, then the number. Okay, then it just wants me to identify m and b. Well, we said m is the number right in front of x. What would that be?
1.
Negative 1. Very good. And then b is this part out here, right? So, if I was actually graphing this, I would start up here at positive 3, right? So if I was listing that as a coordinate point, that means I did not go left or right any, so 0, but I did go up to 3. So we're going to write this as a coordinate point. All right. Okay, number 2. Again, we need y all by itself on the left, so what should I move first? The x. So it's a positive 2x, so to move it, I would just, very good. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Okay? So my 2x is going to go away. And then I have negative 3y equals, do I want to put the negative 2x or the 6 first?
Negative 2x.
And then I'll have a positive 6. Okay, am I supposed to have a number in front of y? So how do I get rid of it?
Subtract.
We divide it. It's being multiplied, so we divide it. But if I divide this by negative 3, I also have to divide everything else by negative 3. So this piece and this piece. Okay, so here the negative 3's will divide out. So I'll just have y. Is 2 divided by 3 going to simplify any?
No.
But 2 negatives will become
Positive.
so I have positive 2/3 x. And then what is positive 6 divided by negative 3?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Okay, so just like before, the m is the number in front of x. What do I have there? 2/3. Okay, and then b is the number on the end, but I want to write it as a coordinate point. So again, it's a y-intercept. So did I go left or right any? And then I would just put negative 2. All right. Number 3. What should I move first? And how would I move it? Very good. So I subtract 3x from both sides, and then what am I going to be left with? Negative y.
Negative 3x.
Right?
Negative 6.
All right. Very good. Am I done?
No, you got to divide by the negative on all.
Right. We don't want the y to be negative, so we have to divide by negative 1 to make it positive. But if I divide that by negative 1, Gotta divide everything else by -1 as well. And all that's going to do is change the signs.
Yeah.
So now I have positive y equals
3x.
Very good. Okay, so what's my m? 3. And what's my b?
0, 6.
Right. Okay. Number 4. So, we normally have the y on the left side, but as long as it's by itself, it doesn't really matter which side it's on. If you want, you could move the 3y over there and the 2x to the other side, or you could just move the 9 to the other side, right? Okay, so let's just do that. Let's just move the 9. It's negative, so to move it, I would have to... Okay. So we always put x first, then the number. So I would have 2x plus 9 equals 3y. Okay, then what would I have to do? Divide everything by 3. Alright, is 2 over 3 going to simplify?
No.
And we don't want a decimal, so I'm going to leave it as 2/3 x. What about 9 over 3?
1 turn to 3.
Good. Equals y. So m is the number in front of x, and what is that?
2
And what's my b?
0, 3.
Very good. Alright. Okay, number 5. What do I need to do first there? Distribute. Very good. Alright, so I would have -5 times x, which would give me
5.
good. And -5 times +3. And then we just keep the y minus 6 on the other side. Okay. So I need y all by itself, so what do I need to move? So I also have to add it to the other side, right? I can add 6 to the 15, but I cannot add it to the 5x because I can't put numbers and letters that are not the same together. So I would just keep -5x. And what is -15 plus 6? Very good. Okay, so m is what number? And b would be 0, -9. Okay, number 6. What should I move? The 5y? Okay, how would I move it? Okay. So I subtract it from both sides, then I'm going to have 2x minus 10 equals -5y. Very good. And if I divide that piece by -5, got to divide everything. So is 2 divided by -5 going to simplify?
No.
No. So I'm just going to leave it as -2/5 x about -10 divided by -5.
Yeah, so you're going to do a positive 2.
Good. Equals y. Okay, so what's my m?
-2.
And my b? 0, 2. Alright. I'll go back to it. Does everybody have these last two? Okay. Okay, so on the back, number 7. I need to get y by itself, so what am I moving? Okay. So then what do I have? Equals. Good. Scott, put your phone up. Divide everything by 2. And then I end up with y equals what? Uh-huh. Good. Okay, and again, it asked me what M is. Uh-huh. And B would be 0, 6. Okay. And after we solve, it asks us to graph. Okay. So B, that tells us where we're supposed to start. Where is this graph supposed to start?
At 6.
Right, at 0, 6. So do I go left or right? And no, only up 6. So you should never start on the x-axis. Always start on the y. Okay, and then my slope, M, that tells me how much up and over or down and over, right? So what am I going to be doing?
Putting it on the x-axis.
That tells me my movement, right? Up and over, or down and over. So how much should I be going up or down?
Down
Over.
over 2.
Over 1. So 1, 2, over 1. 1, 2, over 1. Okay. If my number for M is negative, it's always going to slant this way. If my number for M is positive, it's always going to slant this way. Okay? Alright, so I connect all these points, and here's my function. Okay. You got that one? Okay. Number 8. Is there anything I have to move?
No.
No, but it doesn't have an x. So all we have is a number for where we should be starting, right? Okay. So, if there is no x, then that means there is no slope, right? It's just 0. Okay. Now, but it does tell me where I'm supposed to start. Where am I starting at? 5. 0, 5, right? Okay, so that just means I need to go to where y is equal to 5. Well, this is the y-axis, so I just go up 5. If I go down one spot, am I still at 5? If I go up, am I still at 5?
No.
What if I come over here? Am I still at 5?
Yes.
Yes. So I can move anywhere left and right. I just can't go up or down. So that means I have a horizontal line at 5. Alright. Okay, last one. I need to get y by itself. So what should we move? Subtract 8? Okay. We can do that. So that's going to go away. Then I'm going to have 2y minus 8 equals 4y. Now what? Move the 2y. So then I would have negative 8 equals 2y. 4y minus 2y is 2y. Then what would I have to do? Divide by 2. So I end up with y equals, very good. Okay, so do I have an x? So can I have an m? So it must just be 0. Alright, b, where I'm starting, where is this going to start at?
-4.
So 0, -4. Okay, so y-axis, I go to where y is -4. If I go up, am I still at -4? How about down? So I have to be going
Right.
very good. So there's my line at -4. Okay?